We are God created. We are creators ourselves. We are gods in ourselves. People see the good in you, the power in you before you see it. We do not know ourselves. We do not know what's all of our potential. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amara. I make videos about spirituality, mindset, and health, and how people can gain a sense of confidence and a deeper understanding of themselves when we really gain a presence and different techniques and ways to use earth as your healing force. I'm on my own personal healing journey, and I just wanted to make these videos as more so a reflection for myself to look back on in the future, because yesterday I was literally sitting like with somebody and I just had so much tension in my body that I was like, I had to stop and be like, whoa, like why do I feel this tense around this person? Like my posture was bad, my breathing was like short and shallow, I like was like thirsty as freak. Like it was like a dawning moment for me. I was like, oh, I always feel like this. And then I like was thinking even more, like, has this been building my entire personality my whole life to like show up in this way of like just always being uncomfortable? Have I normalized to myself just being uncomfortable? Because for what reason? Am I scared of this person? Like, this person's not gonna bite me. And even if they did bite me, okay, then what? Like, who am I showing up as in the world? Who am I in relationship to everybody around me? Because when you are like satisfied, when you know that you're taken care of and that you provide for yourself and you know how to heal yourself, like you don't just like, you're not afraid of people, places, or things. Like, and so it made me realize like, oh, like I'm just getting deeper and deeper and getting to know myself. From what place do we make these decisions? Like, how are we really honestly making these decisions in life if you're uncomfortable, if you don't even know how to get back to good? It got me thinking about like our self-concept, and like when you are in relationship to other people, what is the underlying message or fear even that you have about somebody else perceiving you? There's a few different people that I know, their self-concepts are like very, very different from the way that I view myself in the world. One person I know, he feels like the world is like against him. Like nobody wants to help him, like everything's hard for him. He has to like really like hustle, work really, really hard to get by, just to get like a little bit out of life. Like that's, and I was like, okay, well then how do you show up? Like when you're interacting with people, how does that type of personality show up in the world? Like the way that those kind of people talk is going to be completely different than somebody who's a self-starter, who feels really healthy in their body, they don't have any health issues, that are like, versus somebody that's chronically ill. They really are like, every day is painful, every day is like, they don't even know what's really going on or how to really get back on their feet. They don't know how to heal themselves. Versus another person who has a very positive mindset, but maybe they're like a people pleaser. Maybe these are people that seek validation. They seem positive and nice and giving, but really deep down, these people like feel like they have to sacrifice themselves in order to be accepted by other people. Or maybe there's people who show up in the world like from a place of like, okay, like I'm gonna be like, they're very strategic with their relationships because they feel like they're gonna gain something from them that's gonna benefit them in some way. Every relationship that they have in their life benefits them in some kind of way. All of these different ways of operating throughout life, like I'm starting to like think like, oh, it's crazy the amount of like healing that we all need to do. The number one thing that I want people to really, really like become more conscious of, because I'm just becoming more conscious of it myself. Like I said, I like tend to hold tension in my body like in a lot of different relationships in my life. And it's just crazy. It's stuff like that. That's what made getting to know yourself more fun, because it's like, oh shit, like it's really like I'm really changing as a person. The things that I used to allow into my life before, or the ways in which like I like just didn't know why I was still having the problems that I was having, was because I was not present. I wasn't aware enough of my own body and how I felt to be able to fix those problems. I want to say, when you are going throughout life, make sure that you're paying attention to your breath. Make sure we're paying, bless you, baby. make sure we're paying attention to our different tension areas in our body. And how is it that you view other people? Do you think that people are here to take from you? Do you think that everyone's here to benefit you? Do you feel like everyone around you, that you generally make everything happen, you're the provider, or you're the most mature, you're the most emotionally available person, so you generally have a dynamic with people where you're like more of an authority figure to them? How do you show up in most of your relationships? And is that who you really truly are at your core? And why is that? Do you feel like you've been responsible for so much for so long that, that's just how it is? And that, you find it, you have a hard time believing that there's other people that are out there that are like you, that you would find community with people who are like you? Do you have a lot of friends who are similar to you? Are all your friends different? Do all your friends get along, or is everybody kind of individual and doesn't come hang out as a group? Like, these are shadow work prompts for your journal, for you to get to know yourself better and to understand, how do you show up in the world? The way you show up in the world will determine everything in your life. And so, like I said, I want to give you my number one tip. I think is going to be getting a sense of presence, being very aware of how you feel. I think we live in a very intellectual society, and we're a little bit disconnected from how things feel. When it comes to getting to know yourself better and actually becoming better and healing, where do you feel tension in your body at any point in the day? We are God created. We are creators ourselves. We are gods in ourselves. People see the good in you, the power in you, before you see it. We do not know ourselves. We do not know what's all of our potential. Become very conscious and present everywhere you go. Where do you feel this tension in your body? What is the self-concept that you hold about yourself? How do you show up in relationship to other people? What do you expect other people to bring to you in your life? What do you expect to give to other people in your life? Like, let's get to know ourselves very, very well. Follow your breath. And what parts of the day do you feel like you're doing a lot of shallow breathing? Is your tongue at the roof of your mouth? Are you breathing in through your nose and out through your nose intentionally all day long? Sorry, Winnie is waking up. She wants to talk. Yeah, I just wanted to bring this level of like awareness into our body. Are you dehydrated? Do you actually survive off of energy drinks and freaking caffeine all day long? Like, how are you nourishing your body? How do you think the things that you put into your mouth relate to your actual well-being, to your mood? What foods do you eat that contribute to a good mood? Do you know how to get yourself there? The concept that we hold about ourselves and the relationships that we have in our life, and bringing more presence in our body to these relationships, and just the way that we carry ourselves every day. Like, I don't think that we talk about that kind of stuff enough. And when we're really working on like becoming better as a person overall, I think it's super important to have that level of like presence every day, everywhere you go, because what you do today is exactly who you are today. Like, there's certain things that I just don't do. So if you're struggling to overcome certain problems, or if you feel like the relationships in your life are just causing you a lot of stress, you don't feel like it's really resonating with who you really want to be, you think of yourself one way, but the relationships that you've built are reflecting back a different version of yourself constantly, where you have bad posture, where you're not nourished, where you're not hydrated. You need to incorporate more of a holistic view, and also very much a loving attitude towards your previous self. More than anything, I just wanted to make this word about being present when you're in relationship to other people. And also another thing is, ask yourself, like, what version of me manifested this person into my life? And is that the same version of myself that I want to continue to be? I think that's a huge growth question, honestly, for ourselves, is to say, like, okay, like, I actually built a lot of my friendships from a place of like when I was a different version of myself, when I wasn't as happy, or when I worked at a certain job that I don't work at anymore. And so this version of me doesn't really exist anymore. I don't want want this version of myself. Like, we all can think of like relationships that we've had as children that we just outgrow because we went down different paths and we wanted different things. We became different people than when we were kids and used to run around and play and stuff like that. So right now, ask yourselves, what relationships, what places in my life do not support or not in harmony with this new version of myself, of yourself? I don't know why I talk like that. And yeah. But yeah, I wanted to make this video just talking about like your self-concept. And then one thing I will say is, though, any room that you're in, know that you are bigger than the room. You are not... You have to know that you're not just your physical body. Imagine all the places that you want to go in life. You have to have a very strong self-concept and confident no matter who you meet. You could literally meet the Prince of Egypt. Literally, and you still need to be confident and sure of yourself everywhere you go. Like, no, it does not stop. Like, it does not stop. Like, and I think that, like I said, gaining a level of presence within yourself when you're in relationship to everybody, whether you're going to go see a new hairdresser, right? You're going into a new job, a new field, you're not sure. You need to have a strong self-concept and a presence about yourself. Gaining and developing a presence about yourself looks like learning how to breathe properly. Deep belly breaths, tongue at the roof of your mouth, chest up, shoulders back with a strong core. Like holding yourself up from your core. Shoulders back, chest up. Like that gives you natural, like God did not make any mistakes. Whoever created this human body, like in this earth realm, like breath is so healing, it's so grounding. And then on top of that, we need to be eating more nourishing foods. Incorporate more raw food into your diet. Raw fruits and vegetables. I would really say fruits, though. The fruits are going to help heal and calm your nervous system. They're going to heal and calm your gut. And I think that even like when we live so unpresently, so unconsciously for so long, we do a hell of a lot of damage to our body. When you've been drinking and smoking for 5, 10, 30 years, what you can physically do to your body is one thing, but the mindset alone, the way that you can really chip at your own even mindset for that long and period of a time needs to be like studied, honestly. But that's okay, because I'm here to help you. You got me right here to help you and remind you to gain a presence throughout your life. Incorporate more hydrating food. When you're hydrated, you won't even be as hungry. Our body is made up of mostly water.